Well, let's talk about developments in Libya. Joining me here in the studio is Jeremy Williams. He's a former UK military attaché to Abu Dhabi and Bahrain and is now the managing director of Handshake. That's a British company that promotes business links with Gulf states. Jeremy Williams, so first of all, just looking at the arms, wherever you stand on the argument whether they should be armed or not, just logistically, how would you go about helping give arms to the Libyan rebels?
I have to preface my remarks by saying that it would fly in the face of 1971 to do that. That's not what any nation is authorised to do, and it would break the Arab support of what is going on in Libya. But I mean, physically, Tunisia, Egypt, from the sea is your answer. But I mean, it's a big political thing to.
You think these countries wouldn't agree then to allowing arms to go through their border?
I don't think America, Britain, or any of the United Nations signatories are able to do this. I think it just flies in the face of 1973.
All right, but just suppose that those who do want to see them armed, the French, for instance, and so on, were to do that. What kind of arms could these rebels use? I mean, they're not well trained. I mean, some of them are sort of teachers, cooks, that kind of thing. What kind of arms could they use?
Well, at its simplest, they need artillery. They need anti-tank weapons. They need some leadership. They need communications. They don't have that at the moment. They have enthusiasm. I salute their enthusiasm and I wish them well. But I mean, those are the things that are needed by them.
And if they did have those, would they be able to gain the upper hand then over Gaddafi's forces?
Given that the 1973 resolution allows the bombing of those that are attacking civilians, then I would have thought so, yes.
It would. So even though Gaddafi's got all the equipment and well-trained forces, disciplined and so on?
Well, I'm not too sure that they're well-disciplined and well-trained. And I don't know that their morale is good. I think the morale factor for the rebels is high.
Is there also a danger that if you do supply more arms, we saw similar arguments in the former Yugoslavia, Douglas Her, for instance, at the time, saying you're just going to level the killing fields, more arms, whoever has them is going to mean more civilian deaths?
Well, I mean, brutally, I mean, arms require certain training. At the moment, the Libyans have a whole raft of ex-Soviet equipment, pretty basic stuff, very effective, very good, but just providing arms isn't good enough. It needs some leadership, it needs some training.
All right, and then looking at it seems, defection of Mousa Kousa, the Libyan foreign minister. Somebody referred to him as Gaddafi's black box, using that kind of aviation terminology. Do you suppose he really has information which is absolutely crucial to help those opposed to Gaddafi inside and outside the country?
I'm certain that he knows everything, and it's part of the crumbling, the process of crumbling the Gaddafi situation, and I think the rebels should take heart from it all.
Do you think that the British government should cut a deal with him to avoid prosecution and say, OK, you're giving us all this information, that's going to be useful?
I don't know, but I think that all information can be put to use, and I just welcome the fact that he is here. It's part of the crumbling, as I just said earlier.
Do you think it might encourage more defections, so his coattail is quite long?
Yes, I think so. It's part of the package. It's a good news package.
All right, and in terms of what it means for Gaddafi, he's going to retreat even more into an inner circle, his sons, his family, whom he can really trust?
Well, I don't believe he thinks in a logical way. I don't think he is threatenable. I don't think one can affect him as perhaps one would talk to other statesmen. But I mean, what we're seeing at the moment is all part of the doubt that must be in his mind pretty soon.
Okay, Jeremy Williams, thanks very much indeed for talking to us.